Hear ye, all citizens of the Comicsgate Empire. Welcome to the CG Herald Drawstream. Sorry I wasn't on yesterday. I was busy doing other stuff. So, today we are going to be starting the new format of the CG Herald Drawstream. And we are going to be taking a look at a campaign. And then we are going to be drawing something either related to or from that campaign. And today we're going to be taking a look at phenomenon number 3 and the River of Blood Second Chance campaign by Patrick Quinlan. Patrick Quinlan you may know from CG Commandos, and he also runs Logos Comics. Now, give me a second to get some stuff set up. I do have the banner that I'll be showcasing at the bottom of the screen. I will put the link to the campaign in the chat. Give me a moment. Okay, so this is up in the YouTube chat. And in the description of the Rumble chat, or in the description of the Rumble live stream, you'll also find the link there if you're on Rumble. So, we are going to share my screen. Actually, is that it? Yeah, I put out the tweet. I put it in the chat. I have this on here. I think that's all that I had to do whenever it comes to setting it up. Now we can get into the actual campaign itself. So, if you guys would please join me in jumping over to phenomenon number 3 and River of Blood Second Chance campaign. Alrighty. And I will star that so that it stays up at the top, hopefully. I still don't know how to do that with StreamYard, but here we go. We are on the campaign page. So here we have phenomenon number 3, River of Blood Second Chance. This is 2 comic books, obviously, as you can see, both by Patrick Quinlan, musician, writer, dissident, host of the hit YouTube show The Comicsgate Commandos. I believe it's every Saturday, so definitely go and stop by and check that out. Creator and writer of Phenomenon 1999 and Phenomenal Tales. Yeah, the website links there, YouTube and X. The phenomenon is real. You have been living a lie. This is over on Fund My Comic. All right. So, let's pull up this trailer and we'll see what this is all about. that it? Okay. We'll get off of there. That was a pretty cool trailer. So we have I like the art style. It seems like it's gritty enough that um it's gritty enough that it fits the sort of like futuristic actually hold on. I wanted to say look, it's like futuristic and still have some sort of like war torn aesthetic to it. Because if it's 1999, then it's not futuristic. That's obviously not. Alrighty. So we have this cover here. Looks pretty cool. The story of Phenomenon 1999 continues with issue number 3, Into the Valley of Death. Everything you've ever known is a lie, but the phenomenon is real. We pick up right where we left off last issue, with the Lantern counter-revolutionary group now taking the fight to the Soviets with superhuman soldiers of their own. The mercenary Baron, which is this guy with the red shirt, and presumably the guy who got his forearm and hand melted off in the trailer, having suffered a debilitating wound at the hands of Blue Rose, now follows the leader of the Lantern Group, the Boss, who has promised him a cure to his malady. This guy with like it almost looks like jack-o'-lantern type metal mask. That guy's the Boss. Really cool design. So you see here some more of the art. Meanwhile, the brilliant Soviet scientist Diamond continues to rehabilitate the mysterious superhuman known as Polymrak, while simultaneously fending off the suspicions and accusations of the Soviet government's Central Committee for his past failures in dealing with the rebels. I'm guessing that is Polymrak. And that is Diamond. Yes. Okay. It's like the coloring is just crisp enough that it still holds that like grisly art style. I like that. Oh, and just for like what is it? For like total disclosure, this is my first time like seeing these campaigns. I haven't known about like Phenomenon 1 or 2. So this is my introduction to this universe. Overall, I'm liking it. And he has some black and white pages. And what of Minotaur and Blue Rose? Sent to investigate a top secret report of the Tunguska incident. Not sure if that's an actual incident or if it's one that Patrick has made up for the story. Minotaur and Blue Rose will have their realities shaken to the core by what they uncover. Train scene here. This must be Minotaur. This must be Blue Rose, said the guy and the girl from the trailer. I like that face. Wish I could draw a nose like that. Written and created by Patrick Quinlan with art by Claudio Sepulveda and colors by Peter Gilmore. Hey, Peter Gilmore. He's awesome. Phenomenon number 3 is set to ship late 2026, along with the second chance of River of Blood, which is part of the Phenomenon Tales. Here you have a Ethan Van Sciver cover. River of Blood is back now, featuring the spectacular cover by the legendary Ethan Van Sciver. Amen to that description. Ethan's art is so cool. It's like delightfully creepy. This is another one by Peter Gilmore. And Peter Gilmore is like you know him because of like his gruesome work. It's like he did work with Mandy Summers with Jack the Ripper. So he's no stranger to monsters. It's very cool. River of Blood returns for the Second Chance campaign. Why the hell am I yawning? My sleep schedule has been thrown way the fuck off. River of Blood returns for the Second Chance campaign. Written and created by Patrick Quinlan with art by the amazing Peter Gilmore. River of Blood is the story of a young Algonquin man as he seeks revenge against the Wetiko, a cannibalistic horror that consumed his whole tribe. Kick ass. Looks so cool. Coloring on this is really good. This Second Chance campaign is set to ship alongside Phenomenon number 3 in addition to the original campaign's books. Peter and I are hard at work to get this comic in your hands as soon as possible, and we greatly appreciate all the backers from the last campaign and this one for your patience. Rewards: River of Blood, Virgin cover by EVS. River of Blood, EVS Virgin cover, black and white, which even without colors still looks superb. Phenomenon number 3, cover by Aaron Lepresti, another CG King. Have Minotaur and Blue Rose. Blue Rose, yes. Good. I was getting the name right, thank goodness. She has some colorful powers. It helps her stand out. Phenomenon number 3 cover by Sean Salter is a mystery cover. And Phenomenon Gamma cover. Motherfucker. I don't know why I'm yawning so much, guys. This is an exciting campaign. I shouldn't be yawning. We have Phenomenon Gamma cover by Alan Goldman. Alan Goldman is fantastic. So you have all of the main characters of the Phenomenon story facing off against each other. Thank you all for your support on these campaigns. Hail Comicsgate and stretch goals. $1,000 gets the Chris Graves print The Boss, which he looks badass. $3,000, $5,000, and $7,149 are all to be revealed. Not sure why that one is so specific, but I'm sure that there's something important to do with that number. Do I need to get like a shot or something? I need to get like a shot of alcohol or some sort of like soda to give me a kick in the ass. Okay, so back to the rewards. So far, there has been 20 backers with $1,900 raised. I don't like how that sounds. $1,900 raised in 2 days, 38% of a $5,000 goal with 59 days to go. And here are the rewards that you can get. $25 plus shipping, you can get the River of Blood EVS cover. Not the Virgin cover, but it will still have the title on there, which I like how that's laid out. It really works well with the balance. Even if it's sideways, I still like how that looks. There's the EVS Virgin cover. Again, $25 in shipping. There's the black and white Virgin cover. Again, $25 plus shipping. We have Phenomenon number 3, cover A, Aaron Lepresti, $25 plus shipping. We have the Sean Salter one, $25 plus shipping. We have Phenomenon Gamma, $50 plus shipping. I don't know why that one's 50 and why the other ones are 25. Yeah, $45 plus shipping for Phenomenon number 3 with Lopresti and Salter. $50 plus shipping for Lopresti. Something is weird with that. For Aaron Lopresti and River of Blood EVS black and white covers. And $70 for Lopresti and Salter and River of Blood EVS color cover for $70 plus shipping. $90 for Lopresti and Salter and both EVS covers for River of Blood. $70 plus shipping for Lopresti and Salter and River of Blood EVS black and white. $50 for Lopresti and River of Blood EVS color. $75 for Lopresti Phenomenon 3 and both EVS covers for River of Blood. $50 for both EVS River of Bloods. $75 for all EVS River of Bloods. $90 for Lopresti, Salter, and both. Are there? Why do I feel like I'm just going over the same things? Regardless. There's $90 for Lopresti and Salter, and both of the EVS color covers. Oh, that's right, because there's 3 different covers for EVS. Well, that's one way to get a lot of use out of an EVS cover. I applaud you. Okay, so $90 for Lopresti and Salter for Phenomenon and EVS logo and black and white Virgin covers. $95 for Lopresti, Phenomenon 3, and all EVS covers. Goodness gracious. $75 for Lopresti and the EVS color covers. $75 for Lopresti and the EVS with the logo and EVS inks. Saying EVS so much. $50 for I think I bit my tongue. $50 for EVS. $50 for Lopresti and the EVS logo cover. $50 for the Salter and the EVS logo cover. And $150 for all of them. Oh my, is there more? Okay, there's not more. Okay. I was going to say, I scrolled down to here and I see all of these things and I'm like, oh my, there's more tiers. But in all seriousness, go and back this book, books, and it all looks so cool. Like the character designs look awesome. The coloring is great. Like the art style really fits with this world that Patrick has created. So bravo to him. Let's get this campaign fully funded. Let's do that. So share this out, share this far and wide, and let's bring some more eyes to this campaign. Come on, guys. I'll probably reach out to Patrick at some point and see if he wants to come on and shill his comic. But we are also here for a draw stream. So Here's what I'm thinking of doing. Please ignore the obvious redness on my forehead. I'm probably going to be scratching at it for a little bit because now it's starting to peel because it sunburned the shit out of me. Anyways, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to try to draw the boss. That is this guy right here with the orange helmet and the green suit. So I have him pulled up on my other computer, and I'm going to try to draw him. I don't know how long I'm going to do that on stream. But I'll try to get at least a sketch done today. Obviously, this is still the new format for the CG Herald Drawstream. And it's gonna be a learning process. So we shall see how this goes. But I'm going to keep the banner going across the bottom so that anyone who comes in can go and check out this campaign, and I really do think that you should. So let's get to this. I'm gonna leave this up. And I'll play this again while I get my iPad set up. Okay. Alrighty, that is still kick-ass. So I will leave that up. Well, at least I'll have the tab open up here so I can show it again whenever the drawstream part is done. But let's jump into this. Alrighty. So one second, I just have to pull up my little reference image on my computer. It's been a while since I've drawn a guy with a big gun, so we shall see how this turns out. Okay. So this is going to gun barrel. Nope, I'm already starting off with the perspective all fucked up. Give me a moment. I think I need to start with where his body is laid out first. And what I want to try to do is I want to try to be like waist up. So, no, that's too straight. So arm, elbow. And the hand would be right about here. I can get behind where that is. Okay, bump that down a tiny bit. I want to say this would be where like part of the gun barrel would be. So I need to lay that out. Okay. Sorry guys, this part is making me much more quiet as I'm trying to like focus on this perspective shot. That looks horrible. All right, I need to have this down here. Hello, Arlapex. How have you been? Glad to see you here. All right. I'm going to finish up drawing like this perspective, these perspective lines, and maybe move this over a tiny bit. Looks like you've done a lot of upgrading on your YouTube channel. In what ways? Like, do you mean like since the last time you popped into the chat, or just like in general? Because I don't think much has changed since like the last couple streams. Unless it's something that I'm not seeing on like the front end. All right. Which is entirely possible, because YouTube does like to throw their creators for a loop. Okay. All right, and what does his costume look like? Specifically his like glove areas. Okay, so he has like a gauntlet type of thing. Okay. I can definitely work with that. Come on. Don't you just hate whenever your browser just does not want to scroll properly? Come on. There we go. Okay. All right, so might as well get in some muscles here. This will be my first time actually trying to draw like decent looking muscles. So forgive me if it looks a little bit wonky. All right, got that. Oh, I don't have that one in. No. Okay, so this is the boss's gauntlet goes like all the way down his arm. So that hold on. If he's holding it like that's I almost knock my earbuds out. He's holding it like this. Then it'd be on the back. Then, okay, so this whole area, again, trying to draw hands, so we'll see how this turns out. Thankfully, it's only going to be like half of a hand, so it's not going to be too crazy. No, this part should be going this way and be a little bit further down. Okay, much better. Even just that little tiny bit. Because if it was any higher, then it would probably interfere with him being able to move his hand. Which you probably would not want. Hold on. So I just had to like try to visualize where he would be holding the barrel if it was like an AR. This is one benefit of this pose. I don't have to really draw that many fingers other than like the thumb. So that's good. But I can still make the thumb look good. Okay, so he has almost like a metal plate on the back. Like think like maybe like a Batman glove, like a tactical glove. I don't know why I immediately thought Batman, but like tactical gloves. So that would be coming up around here. And what I think I'm gonna do with, again, there's no earbud in that ear. What I think I'm gonna do with like the CG Herald streams is those drawings are going to be solely black and white drawings. So it'll be a good way for me to work on my cross hatching and also still get some sort of promotion for these creators in during these streams, so I can draw their characters and showcase their campaigns before and after the draw stream part. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it be black and white pieces. If I really feel like it, then I might, on like special occasions, or if it's like a campaign that I really, really like the creator and I want to devote like a lot of time to, I might break out like a color piece over several streams. Not to say that I don't like Patrick Quinlan. He does a great show and he does a great creator. But I can't be doing like color pieces like all the time on stream. Like the KD piece that I did, it took me 5 streams. And there's some stuff that I do want to like work on personally and just like sit down and chill on stream. So in general, art pieces on CG Herald will be black and white. But who knows? Who knows whenever I will break out a colored piece? Will you be one of the lucky creators? We shall see. Okay, does he have... I need to see if he has any extra stuff on like the thumb area. Oh, hold on. The Chris Graves piece. Oh, he... okay. He does not. At least it doesn't look like it. But what it does look like is that these bits on his gloves are instead connected to his gauntlet, which I'm going to need to change that color because... Okay, much better. Now I can actually see them. Okay, got that. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna add one here as well. Because I'm seeing several different looks for like how this glove gauntlet combination appears. And it's all depending on art style. So I think Peter Gilmore may draw it one way, and Chris Graves may draw it a completely different way. So I'm going to combine the two in a way. Oh, excuse me. Okay, drop that color, go back to blue. Okay. And this will be where the glove area is cut off, at least for this interpretation. And the gauntlet... it does go all the way around his arm. So I feel like this also gives him enough space to move his arm around inside of it. So we'll have that encapsulating his arm, being nice and thick. He wants to knock somebody out. Also makes his arms look a bit more beefy. So whenever you have a guy who is supposed to look like a badass, I mean, his name is literally the boss, it's good to have a little bit of extra beef. So, okay, now let's throw in the triceps. Okay, that would be like right there. But if he's here, holding his arm this way, there wouldn't really be much of a tricep because it's more flexing the bicep area. So like this part would be flexing and this one would be resting. But there can be some hint of it because this guy has got some beefy arms. And then, yeah, it would be like right there. So leave that. This part come down. And then pointy elbows. Because I may have made his forearm curve a little bit too much. Unless... No, I definitely made his forearm curve too much. Okay, here's what needs to happen. This needs to move. Okay. Needs a slight angle change. Hold on. That looks closer to accurate. Slightly closer. And then this would go... to here. Sorry, I had to like purposely like blur my vision so I could see like where his arm was going to be. Okay. So right here would be like elbow. Down, down, and that is where it would be. Okay. Shoulder. Oh, okay. So let's have... Okay, so let's get started on the dude's helmet so he's a little bit more recognizable rather than just being an arm and a gun. Okay. Good thing is I don't need to really worry about facial structure. I just need to worry about mask look. So head-wise, we'll start off the same way. Okay. And then that'll be the middle. I had to remind myself, don't draw the head the same way that I would draw a woman's head, because that would have a little bit more of a like pointy chin. This guy does not strike me as one that would have a pointy chin under the mask. Okay, so I'm gonna have him sort of like with his like head cocked to the side a little bit. Almost like he is about to be looking down the scope of the gun. Which, speaking of which, I should probably put the scope on the gun. That. Okay. I'll have to adjust where exactly that is, but getting the base work down on there is the main objective. And I don't want him like looking down the barrel just yet. I want it to be like he's about to be. All right. That can go right there. Cool. That works. And he also has like a, not a cape, but more like a tunic. But I'll put that on, I'll draw that onto him after I put on the mask. So, right about midway point is where the eyebrow would be. And the way that his mask looks, there's not a different hinge for the jaw, so it's just like two parts that are cut out from the sides. So like almost like pretty much like a jack-o'-lantern. Okay, got that. And that is pretty much like all black inside. No showing off like mouth or skin or anything like that. That. Now, some interpretations of his mask that I'm seeing on the campaign have like the jaggedy line going through the middle in a more random way. Other ones maybe have like stuff that's jutting out from the bottom. I'm going to try to make it look a bit more uniform. Sort of like a, I keep going back to like a jack-o'-lantern type look, but less crazy and ADHD ridden. I feel like that could be moved ever so slightly. Okay, right there. And then the eyes would be right about here. No, his right eye is throwing me off. That'd be way too far over. Okay, and move that. Freeform time. Ever so tiny adjustment. Cool. Okay. Then after that, we'll put in the nose, and then I'll actually get into the drawing of the eyes, because the eyes are the only part that like actually shows through. Nothing in the lower half, just the eyes. Okay. And it almost looks... See, there are some times whenever it looks like there's like a little indent in his helmet right above where the eyes are, to sort of give like an artificial eyebrow look. But that might wait. Hold on. Yeah, that's gonna wait. If I need some more expression added in, then I might add it in during the like cross-hatching phase. But right now, I am just gonna do the eyes. Okay. Got that. Nope, that would be way too far over. Be massively cross-eyed. We do not want that. That needs a bit of adjustment because it looks too tall. If that makes any fucking sense whatsoever. Okay. Now, the only issue with those is that they look way too small for that helmet. They need to be double that size. So freeform time. Now to this side. I can make that a tiny bit taller. Okay. I do at least get the feeling that he's looking in the right direction. So that's good. Now we... It's still looking too small. It needs to look more menacing. I think the whole eye holes need to be bigger. By that, I mean both of them. So uniform. That looks 10 times better already. Okay, now the nose is looking slightly off. But the eye size is looking much better. It looks more intimidating that way. Yeah. Ooh. Again, I had to purposely blur my vision there for a second so I could see so I could get like a better idea of where this stuff was arranged on the face. There we go, right there. And then mask goes up there. Mask goes up there. Okay. Because from what I'm seeing, most of the mask or helmet, I guess you would call it, is a smooth surface. There's not many like ridges or anything in there. It's just like the openings for the eyes on like the side of the mouth. It's almost like they're just like cut into a smooth surface. So I think this works the way that it is. Now I still need to add like the whatever's covering his ears. I'm gonna go consult the Chris Graves artwork and see what there is. Okay, so it's pretty plain. So I'll put one on this side. Again, depending on the artist, the size of these does seem to change ever so slightly. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. I'm going to make them bigger. Okay, so it'd be right about here. And this kind of stuff probably, whoa. That's too small. That needs to go a little bit higher. And the other one needs to go slightly lower. Right there. Okay, now this one's turn. Okay, right there works perfectly fine. Then this one. Okay. I am okay with that. This one needs some slight ridges to it. Again, it's something that, from what I am seeing, changes from artist to artist. Some of them do have ridges, some of them don't. Some of them have more ridges than the other ones. I'm just going to put a little bit more detail. Okay. And I almost wonder... I wonder if I could get away with bumping the eyes up. Because even right now, he still looks too kind. If I put those up there, then the tops of the eye holes would sort of function like eyebrows. And whenever they're closer, it's like looking like from under his eyebrows at you and looks more mean. That looks fucking badass. That's the look of a guy who's going to pull the trigger and kick some ass. But he also looks like a guy who has his eyes way too far up his head. Right there. Cool. Now, he does have... this is going to sound funny. He does have shoulder pads. I just have to confirm what shape they are. If they're more rectangular or if they can be like circular. Okay, so that would stop right about there. And the banding on his arm is just like one way, so I don't have to really worry about that. Throw that on there, add some more bulk. And you give him some like Arkham City Batman type bulk. That Batman is bulky. Okay. Now we've got that. And his other arm would pretty much be behind the barrel. At least based on the reference image that I'm seeing. So I think we're at least good for that. I'm going to scroll down to the Chris Graves one. Actually, I'll keep that one up. That one looks kick-ass. Something else I'm noticing is that sometimes the colors of the character change. Like, orange and green stay the same, but sometimes, like, the metallic parts, they switch between gray and purple. Again, it depends on the artist who's drawing them and coloring them. I'm noticing the Alan Goldman one specifically has more purple rather than metallic. But it makes him look more like a jack-o'-lantern, and jack-o'-lanterns are creepy sometimes. So let's say he has his chest here. Right there. And okay, so his like cloak sort. Actually, hold on. He has a lot of belts. I need to see where the belts are. Okay, so he has them sort of like crisscrossing everywhere. One of which is like under his arm. So we need to have that on there. And change that so I can actually see the damn thing. Okay. Change it back. Okay. So it almost looks like he has some slight turtleneck. So putting that on there. Be right about there. That's not the right banding for a turtleneck. And then hold on. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. I was trying to figure out like how to do those folds and have it be having it add some amount of bulk to him. I think what I need is maybe not have as much on this side and instead have it on the other side. Sort of like if his arm is here, then have it like hanging down from here. That could work because then it would still take up some of this space. Okay, I like that idea. No, that one does not work. Have that cover that part. Go all the way over. Down over the chest. Okay, I need the red again. Shit. Red. There we go. Coming over. And then coming under. Okay. And then I want to say there'd probably be like some hand grenades hanging off of like his chest. So probably like right in this area, I'll put like smoke grenades. Or there's enough cylinders. I can do like a circular one. Oh, hello. We have Yoshikage Kira Killer Queen P6M. Hello. First time seeing in the chat. How are you? If you don't mind me asking, what brings you here? Okay. I probably should not have done that before erasing that, but no, that just looks strange. I still need to work on fabric wrinkles, or pretty much anything having to do with like that stuff. I know that there's the XYZ method, but I'm not sure if that would work in this instance. I'm doing pretty good. All right, either Killer or Kira, whichever one is fine. I think I'll go with Kira. Makes me think of Death Note. Yeah, I'm actually, if you haven't stopped by the streams before, I'm doing this drawing of a character for, give me one moment, for this crowdfunding campaign that is currently funding right now. It's Phenomenon number 3 and the River of Blood Second Chance campaign by Patrick Quinlan. It's currently funding on Fund My Comic, and what I am trying to do with these streams is I'm trying to um, I'm trying to showcase various campaigns that stick out to me, and at the same time trying to improve my art skills by drawing either a character or something related to that campaign. So this is a guy called the Boss. And with a freaky mask like that and an arsenal of weapons, I can see why he's called the Boss. Cool art, by the way. Thank you. Always appreciate compliments. It helps boost my artistic confidence. I am going to keep the red. So this is going to, I'll put them right here. Or should they be lower? They're going to be a little bit lower. Just to take up a little bit more of that dead space. And I can draw a belt behind them to hold them up. Okay. And those type of grenades have that thing at the top. That one would be underneath this cloak thing. And it would have that sort of trigger. Or I guess like release. I'm not too familiar with the terminology behind hand grenades. But I feel like those should be Does the boss wear gloves? Yes, he does. That is what I have over here. It's sort of like tactical gloves. It's just not. It's not really visible in the sketch phase. Whenever I get to the shading stage of this drawing, then it will be much more visible. But right now, it's not as noticeable. Right there. Yeah, the boss is, give me 1 second, I'll pull up a picture of him. Yeah, this guy is the boss. 1 moment. Right here. And that, by the way, is art by Chris Graves. It's on the campaign page. So if you want to go by and check it out, I would highly recommend it. But yeah, that's what the boss looks like. Kira says, I've got a character that has almost the same design. Oh, it's not mine. That's a character by Patrick Quinlan. But your character, his name is Raphael Robertson, is an antagonist for your comic. But your design looks way cooler. Keep it up. Thank you. While I would love to take credit for this, I cannot. I'm only I'm only drawing based on like um existing character drawings or like as close to existing character drawings. But he does look really cool. Um but you mentioned that you have a comic. Is it one um that's already released or is it one that has yet to be put out? Going to pull my iPad screen back up. There we go. All right, and we'll switch back to blue. And let's see, elbow, waist would probably be like right down here. So he would probably okay. Oh, so you still have to finish character designs and the storyline. In a few years, I hope it will be out. Well, it's always better to have all that stuff fleshed out before jumping into releasing something. So you're doing it right. Do you have like a specific genre or like time period thought out for it? Let's do. He would be turned more, so right about here would be where that would be. Trying to draw the male anatomy is a pain in the ass sometimes. So that, because I don't want him to have like Rob Liefeld chest. That would be way too crazy. Because if it was here. Hmm. Oh, okay. And the comic is based off of some people from the West. It's 1987 in my comic, and they have special powers that are given to them when they are deemed worthy. Cool concept. So it's sort of like when you say like people from the West, I immediately think of like a Wild Wild West tone. But you say it's 1987, so obviously it wouldn't be the Wild West, but It already sounds interesting, though. Okay, so have that part be like mid-abdominal area. Right there. That would be the other one. And then right about there. Waist. All right. And that's where his belt would be. And how thick is that belt? And there's a bunch of pouches. So this guy has a lot of like Liefeldisms, I guess that would be. So pouches and a big gun. So he would have, you can put several on this side. They're going to be quite substantial. So Kira, is it going to be like okay, give me 1 second. I'll read your message, then I'll ask my question. So Raphael Robertson is the main antagonist. He's a man that wants to avenge his mother, who was shot when he was small. Okay. Interesting. Do you already have the heroes planned out? Or do you just have Raphael thought out so far? Ah. Do you have those character designs already thought out? Because you're saying like the main antagonist is a guy who wants to avenge his mother. That sounds like a pretty heroic thing. So who are the good guys who are going to be going up against this guy? You got 3 protagonists, all are friends. Okay. That makes him seem like a more formidable foe. Always good to give the heroes a challenge. Is this going to be like an American comics style story, or is it going to be like manga style? Because nowadays, I think people could go either way. Although I think a lot of people are more coming around to manga nowadays. I feel like this could be a bit thicker. Yeah. Okay. Franz, a German that has a power which lets him summon guns from a different object. Theodore, an American that still doesn't have a power. And Lars, a Swedish man that unlocked his powers a few days ago. And it's going to be a manga. I was going to say, that does sound like a manga. If I was going to guess, I would say that it was a manga. Yeah, it's always interesting to hear like what other people are working on. Um, okay. That. Okay. Okay, so Raphael also has a crew, and his power is controlling the iron inside of a human or object. For example, he can suck all the iron from a human from his fingertips. Hmm. Cool. So he can like manipulate iron in anything. Cool. Now, is it just iron or is it like all metals? All metals. Okay. Sweet. Metal bending always sounds like a pretty awesome power. Could allow you to do so many things. Alright. Gonna do that. And then we have this part for the belt buckle. I have to make it slightly bigger than the actual belt itself. His crew consists of 5 people, including himself. Okay. Do all of them have powers, or are they just like lackeys? Because dude seems like he has some pretty awesome powers already. Okay, so this would go around back. That's where his elbow is. Right about there would be the front. Got that. That's where the hip would be. So maybe down there. No, this is gonna sound gay, but then it makes it look like he has no ass. Okay, there we go. And right about there is where, like, the hip would be. Okay. So, okay. Isaac Moonville Clementine, that's an interesting name. Logan and Scott all have powers. Moonville Clementine is like, haven't heard like a name like that before. Sounds pretty cool. Okay, so this guy's neck would go up here. And then oh, there's no kinda about that. It is definitely unique. Okay, so good lord. Okay, so now I need to figure out how I'm gonna have his tunic over on this side. First, let's reposition a tiny bit. Okay. Okay, and while I'm thinking of how to do that, oh, one moment. Moonville also has an interesting power. He can slow down time for a few seconds, 10 if he doesn't have a will, and an hour if he has a very strong will. He uses time stop to shoot with his pistol. I always think it's interesting whenever people use like willpower and factor it into a character's powers. It's like if a person has a weak will, then they can be easily beat. But if they have a strong will, then they're going to be unleashing hell. Alrighty. So, since it's been probably about an hour 25 since I showed the campaign, what I will do, I'll stop sharing ever so briefly. And I will pull up the campaign trailer. And I'll show it to you guys again. And while I'm doing that, I will go and get a drink. Because my throat's starting to get a little bit dry. So give me one moment, and I will play this trailer for you. Alrighty. I'm back, and I am now with drink. Not alcoholic, even though that sounded like a pretty slurred together sentence, but it's enough to keep me talking for at least a little bit more time. Okay. Taking this down. Sharing my iPad screen again. Isaac is American, and his power is to write anyone's name in a book he was given once they got his power. Write anyone's name in a book he was given once he got his power. Oh, he can write a rule in that book for the person to follow. If that person doesn't, they explode. Can't say I've heard of that kind of power before. Cool. It's almost like it's like a similar sort of power to like Death Note. But like putting more onus on the person whose name is written in there. Inspired by Death Note a little. Just a little bit. But it's different enough to be on a unique side of things. Okay, his arm would be out. Okay, so here's my dilemma. His arm, like the way that he's standing, his arm would be straight out, and it's being blocked by the barrel of the gun. So I'm trying to think of a way that I can have his cloak sort of taking up more of this space over here. And Logan can release gas from his fingertips that controls people's minds. If you breathe it in, then you get controlled for some time, and it depends on your will as well. Sweet. Now, do you have... I can't remember if I've asked this already. Do you have all character designs for all of them already? Yeah. Cool. And are you the artist or writer for the book? Or are you both? Just haven't drawn them all yet. Okay. Both. Okay. So you're going to be in a similar boat to me someday. Because I'm mostly writer and working on improving the art part. Partially why I'm doing this. But I have a bunch of ideas that I want to get out at some point. Just a matter of when. Um, let's have it go down to here. Yeah, I need to improve my anatomy and technique. Preach it. Same here. It's like one thing I can definitely say has helped me is just sitting down and doing it. Because the more that you draw, the more practice that you get, the better it is going to be. Needs to be tiny bit smaller. Oh, okay. So you do traditional art. Okay. Sometimes their hands look wrong and I have to erase the whole drawing. What part of the hands throw you off? Because I'm wondering if you have sort of like pinpointed a certain area or a certain part of it. Okay, there. Okay. I just can't draw them right, and also the arms may look wrong and affect the way the hands look. I'm trying to think of some ways that I can maybe help with that. Give me a little bit of time. Do you do you have any places where you like post your art? Like Instagram or Twitter or X, whichever one you'll call it. Do you want to know the character designs? Yeah, my channel or other channels. Is it just is your channel just the same as what you have on here in the chat? Yoshikage Kira Killer Queen. I barely posted a few days ago, so I haven't put my docs there. Yoshi. If I could spell your name correctly. Yoshi Kage. Yoshikage Kira Killer Queen 2785. There are many. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm finding that. All right, let's. P6M. Go straight to the source. This is on YouTube, right? Yoshikage, Kira, Killer Queen, P6M. If you can't find them, that's fine. Yeah, it is being a little bit of a pain trying to find you. It's like I'm finding other Yoshikage Kira Killer Queens with like numbers after them, but I'm not finding yours for some reason. My PFP might help. I may need to be reminded, what exactly is a PFP? Sorry, there are some things that I do go slightly boomer on. Oh, profile picture. I should have known that. Ugh. I think what I'll try to do is I'll try to jump into viewing the stream, and I'll try and clicking on your name, and I'll see if I can get there through that. We'll see if that works. Okay, now I see it. Okay. I was gonna say you should post like speed paints of your work and put those on your channel. But then I remembered that you do like traditional art. Should make it a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. I only have posts. Yep, I do see that on there. I think whenever it comes to like YouTube, it might help to have like some sort of video content. Is that something you are hoping to do at some point? Oh, thank you. Always glad to see somebody subscribe. But yeah, whenever it comes to like art stuff, being able to see like an art process and be able to put that onto YouTube, I feel it would definitely help um, grow your audience for whenever you do put out your book. And then people will be more, they'll be more familiar with you, and they'll have that sort of parasocial connection because they would have seen you from like whenever you started to whenever you eventually release it. Uh, yeah, I'll try to do videos when I get better at drawing, but for now I only do posts. I would say even if you're not even well, even if you think you're not good at drawing, still put it out because a lot of times, and I'm very guilty of this, we don't give ourselves enough credit as artists, and sometimes it will just be a matter of someone just like randomly popping in and saying, "Oh, that's a really good piece of art." And should I post something on my channel right now? Only if you'd really want to. What what would you want to put on there? Because like I was saying, like speed paints of some stuff would be good to like show your process and even just like get some content out there. But what would you want to put out there? Because that is sometimes just as important as being able to put something out. Post of a drawing, maybe. You're talking like just a post, or are you talking like posting like a video? Just a post. I can't do. No, you don't need to apologize. It's just something that you could do eventually. Um, all right. It's I would say if you have drawings that you want to put out in posts, you can probably like stagger them out over a couple of days so you're not just like posting all of them at once. That way, if you get traction on one, then you can maybe get some more eyes like the second day, and then so on and so forth. I do that a lot with shorts. Like I'll do like a batch upload on the f- like before the beginning of the month, and then I'll just have one posted per weekday, and that seems to be working at least a little bit. That way I'm not doing too many things in one day, but I'm still putting stuff out there. But the reason why I ask is about what you want to do is if you don't want to put something out, like if you don't want to do videos, then if you force yourself to do it, then you're just going to hate putting out videos and burn out even quicker. Like right now, I sort of do like a mixture of draw streams, pop culture videos mixed with some amount of comedy to them as I knock my nose into this, and like comic art analysis, whether that be like comic covers or eventually there'll be some reviews of comics on this channel. So it really depends on what you feel like you could put out on like a semi-consistent basis. So, and also something that you actually enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing it, then you're just going to be kicking yourself and being like, why did I decide to do this? It's killing me. I post on somebody else's channel, like No School Saturday or somebody else's. I think I post there the most frequent. No School Saturday. So is that like a different person entirely? Like drawings? I'm not sure where the like drawings message comes in. Like what? Okay. Give me a moment. Watch videos. I'm guessing No School Saturday is another one that has like a lot of different variations on the name. Oh, okay. I post on his community for like anime stuff or something. Is this No School Saturday for real? The one that's like 274,000? Yeah, okay. What kind of stuff do you post on there? The one with the... Yep, I'm looking at it right now. So with 274,000 subscribers, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to like comb through all that stuff. I post random stuff, but mostly art. Okay. Pardon me. I would say if you're already posting stuff on his community, then you could also, if they're your drawings, then you can also post them on your channel to sort of get those eyes on you. And that might also help. It'll help get you some more content on your channel, even if it is just posts. And then you'll probably get more people like me saying, oh, I want to see like how you're drawing this piece, and then eventually, if you want to do that, then you can put it out there. Yeah, that's what I started doing today, but I'm afraid I'm too small. nobody is ever too small because everybody on YouTube or any sort of social media platform starts with 0 subscribers. You've already got 10. So you're already starting to pick up some traction. All you need to do really is just look at it as, am I better than I was yesterday? Do I have even just one more like on my post? Do I have one more subscriber? Or are my impressions going up ever so slightly? In the comics community that I usually frequent, I am definitely one of these small fries in that, but I'm not letting that deter me from continuing to put out like these draw streams and stuff. So okay. One time you got 200 plus likes on a post, and I'm proud of that. Yeah, as you should be. It's like whenever you see stuff that takes off like that, remember that and just try to improve. Maybe like I keep telling myself this, so this is usually pretty good advice because I've heard multiple people say this same advice. Just try to improve 1% each time. And then um by the 100th post, then you'll be even better. It is your first post on another person's community. If it was the 274,000, yeah, I could see why it was getting 200 likes, because that's a lot of likes. And posting in his community is probably what brings in other eyes to you. So if you have more stuff on your channel, then there'll be more stuff for people to enjoy on there. And it'll make it more likely that they're gonna click that subscribe button. Do I have a community? None that I'm aware of. And see, I've never really heard it like termed that way, or like heard that term when it comes to like YouTube stuff. I've only really heard of it in like, I don't know, like a YouTuber's audience, but I haven't heard like the interactive side of things other than like live stream audiences. So I don't think I have a community like No School Saturday, but I do have you guys in the chat. Oh, you just posted in your community right now. Alrighty. Okay, I see. Are those characters that you were telling me about? Yep, I see it. And I just clicked like. All right. So have that. I hope you get a community and lots of likes because I never talked to someone that was actually interested in my manga. Well, like I was saying, if you, well, pretty much do what you did here. It's like you came into the chat, you started talking about it, and you let me know information about it. So if you do that on your channel, then even through posts, you can sort of bring people into that world that you've created. So you can find those people, or you can bring in those people that have that interest, and you can tell them about it and make them interested in it. No, they're from different animes, but I do have OCs. Do I post one? I would say you already have 3 posts up there for today. I would say post some tomorrow and throughout the week. Because it will, like I was saying earlier, it won't take up like if you spread out the amount of times that you post, then it'll make your channel seem more active rather than just putting them all today. So it's like you can do maybe like 1 or 2 a day depending on like how many you have. If you have a lot, then maybe go for like 3 a day. Morning, afternoon, and evening. But if you have like a smaller amount that you don't have like a a buffer for, then maybe do like 1 a day. Okay. Yeah, the Moonville Clementine character. I'll try, man. Is that about the posting on certain times or like over a certain amount of days? I need to add some more. stuff in here. Yeah, it looks like Moonville has some tattoos. I have like 50 or something. Okay. How much time does it usually take you to finish a piece? All right. All right, I feel like there definitely still needs to be something else on this. Yeah, this part looks much better. Yeah. What was that an answer to? Because I sort of distracted myself. By the way, the drawing is looking wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to make this cape, or not cape, but like cloak part looking all right. I'm trying to make it look all right. Because with his arm being straight out and being blocked by the gun barrel, I want to take up this space, and I also want to make it look like there's still an arm there. So there needs to be something that this would be hanging off of. Okay, 30 minutes to 4 hours depends on how large the piece is. Okay, so you have about 50 or something. Do you usually, how often do you draw? Like, is it an everyday thing or is it every couple days? Like one piece a week? Faces take me 30 to 20 minutes, but whole body with backgrounds takes me an hour or two. Sounds about right. All right, how do I want this? All right, that is much better. Then this going up. Hmm. Yeah, right about there. Okay. Every day if I get the chance. Okay. Here's what I think you could do. If you do you have a pretty good buffer if you have 50 or something. So if you start off with maybe 2 per day for the first 50, that could get you through almost a whole month, maybe 25 days. That way, if you have a couple days where you just want to put one and just see how well those take off, you could do that. If you do draw every single day, then you're going to be improving with every piece that you do. And whoever's following you along that path, they're going to see that improvement. And the more time that you devote to it, the more details that you can put in, and the more stuff you'll learn along the way. So, as you progress with posting all of that stuff, excuse me, by the time you get to that point, then doing one drawing per day should be enough. I'm not I'm not guaranteeing anything, but that's what I would do. And then if you wanted to at that point, then you could sort of expand what you are trying to get done. Like if you want to set up your phone and just put it over top of your sketchbook or the piece of paper that you're drawing in and just record a little bit of that process, then that could be just a tiny step into releasing videos and just seeing what you're comfortable with. Oh, by the way, Clementine won me competition. I got second. Congrats. That's good. Okay. But yeah, if something that I see a lot is creators who have books or manga or even just creative projects that they want to release and they just pop up without any sort of fanfare beforehand, and they just suddenly expect to just immediately sell their stuff. That's usually a very bad idea. So if you have that presence beforehand, like what you're doing with your posts, then you'll get your community and the other communities that you post in more aware of who you are, and they'll know your name, they'll know that you have a manga that you're going to be putting out, and they'll see that process from whenever you were first starting, at least in their eyes, to where you are whenever you release your project. There was one guy. There was one guy who I followed who he was in high school whenever he first released his first comic, and people were people were still backing his stuff, and he made a name for himself, and he actually did get his project funded. And whenever he came back for his second book, he actually was like live streaming the whole time. He was showing the progress that he made from his art style in his first book to his second one, which I can tell because I got both of those books. The art style definitely improved through that. And being able to like follow him along on that journey, it sort of establishes that sort of um, that like parasocial relationship because you want him to succeed because you've seen how much he improves, and that makes you as the audience member like want to push him and be like, keep going, you're doing good. If you're doing something similar, then you can sort of like follow that same kind of momentum. uh I started a book and then abandoned it because it didn't sound good to me. It was called The Scientist. I I have definitely had those same experiences. I'm mostly a fiction writer. I've actually released 5 fiction novels, and um those were not the first books that I worked on. I actually was working on a superhero story in college, and I got through the rough draft of the first book. It was going to be a trilogy. And when I was starting to write the second one, I was like, I am so stuck in like writer's block that I moved on to a different book. And that book that I moved on to ended up being the first in a series of 5 books that that ended up getting released. And I've never looked back to to that superhero book ever again because I was like, no, this one needs to die. Oh yeah. Yeah, good for him. He's starting at a young age like me. Exactly. Um yeah, if you want to follow him, he is, let me see if I can pull him up. He does occasional live streams now and again. I just have to actually go through my subscription list. All right. Yeah, most of his stuff is. Really, Noah? What the fuck are you doing? Hmm. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what has gone on with this channel. But what I can say, he may just private his streams. That may be what it is. But here, I'll share him either way. So let's take this off. You started making the new book a couple months ago. You have 41 pages now, and the new book is called Unexpected. Is Unexpected the one that you were telling me the characters about? The old book had 130 pages. That's a lot of pages. All right, share screen. Okay. So, this is the guy that I was telling you about. He's the one who's actually released a book in high school and released his second one whenever he was starting in college. So, I don't know why he doesn't have his live streams up, but like I said, he may just private them. Um, I would say he's a good one to follow if he um, does have the live streaming stuff. But yeah, I don't know why exactly they're not on his channel at the moment. But figured I'd share it just in case you wanted to check him out. All right. Started the books in 6th grade and started drawing in 7th. Sweet. Yeah, I've been doing art for a long time. It's like I took art classes in high school, not just high school, but like middle school, high school, and I went to college, and I'm a graphic designer by like full-time job, and one of the things that I had to do for that degree in college was rather unconventional for a graphic design degree, but I had to like learn. I had to take like various art classes. So I had to learn still like fuck is it called? Um I'm drawing a blank. It's like the sort of thing that you have whenever you're drawing. Damn it, what is it? You're like drawing like fruit and other stuff that's arranged on like a little mini stage thing. I forget what the fuck it's called. Yeah, for the unexpected book, I try to write every day but fail sometimes. Hey, so long as you're consistent, you can take a day off once in a while. It's totally fine. No problem there. So long as you don't burn yourself out. That's the main concern. It's like if you enjoy what you're doing and it's something that you want to keep doing, then even if you take like a day or two as like a little pause and just like relax, then you should just be able to jump right back into it. It's also why I was asking you earlier what you wanted to put out on YouTube, because if you try to force something, then you're going to end up hating it eventually, and then you'll end up with like months long absences and your momentum will like drop. That's what happened with me multiple times. I've had this channel for since 2016. Thanks, close to 2016. Yeah, because whenever I looked back at my earliest videos, it was 2016. And it's gone through several rebrands. This started as a gaming channel, and that ended up going nowhere. I don't remember why. But yeah, that did not lend itself to much success. And then I did some other more like pop culture news stuff. And then like hockey highlights. Good God, why did I do that? And then I got into the more artistic side of things and got more into comics. So there have been several different changes over the course of however many years on this channel. And the reason why I am here doing what I am doing now is because this is what I want to do. I took classes in middle school, but didn't help me much. What do you obviously you want to learn anatomy, and what was the other thing that you wanted to learn? Because I remember you said anatomy and and something else still cause you problems. No. I don't know, I should just move that. Test of a drawing. Scrolling back up so I can see what you're having difficulty with. Anatomy and technique. Okay. Technique is, I would say that's unique to every artist. So not really much I can help with that. But anatomy, how would you say that you learn best? By observing or by trying to copy from something? I try to learn by myself, but it sometimes troubles me. I want to learn anatomy and technique. Like I said, technique is unique to the artist, so can't really help with that. But anatomy, um, how, like I was saying before, how do you typically learn best? Is it by observing and then doing, or is it by copying and then turning it towards your own methods? Struggled with hands for a period of time, but I think I'm getting better because the Moonville Clementine drawing is really recent. Yeah, hands are hands are quite difficult. So, give me a moment. That might be a little bit too much rips, but I will let that be. Okay. Okay. So, here's what we can do. Give me a moment. Actually, I'll just draw it on here. All right. So, up until a couple weeks ago, I didn't know this trick with drawing hands, and that is using perspective. So, if you want to say, so here's your wrist. And you want to draw a hand coming off of that. First, draw the wrist so you can see where it's coming from. So you can see it's coming forward. And then what you can do is draw the hand out. And since the hand is going to have a slight amount of curvature to it, you'll draw that into the hand, form where the thumb is. You'll make it a little bit thinner whenever it goes to the tip of the finger. Whenever you come to the actual fingers, what you can see is there's going to be a little bit of space between each finger. They're not going to be all stuck together unless you have like a hand like this. If you have them spread, there's going to be some sort of division. And generally, middle finger is going to be the biggest. Pinky finger is going to be not as big. So, and then what I try to do is I try to make it look like looks like he's flipping me off. What I try to do is I try to make the fingers look like cylinders. So I'll draw lines so I know what direction they're going in. Now, this part would definitely be more difficult since you're a traditional artist, but everything becomes easier with practice. And if you're drawing every day or almost every day, then that practice will eventually make this a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, that's just like a quick little sketch of that. Um, you can sort of, what I would say is look up look up the artists that you're trying to emulate and see how they draw hands. If you need to, then trace over it a little bit, get accustomed to how those lines look, and then apply that to your own drawings. Don't post the traced ones because that would be bad and that would get you that would be very bad. But use it to teach yourself how to better understand anatomy, and then you can use it to establish your own methods of drawing hands. Could be the same way with like any type of art. So it's like if you're trying to draw um if you're trying to draw like the artist behind Death Note, then maybe you'll like try tracing one time and then drawing from like eye reference and then injecting your own style into the basic anatomy of like what they've drawn. That way it's it's like a learning process. So it'll get your drawing muscles, if those were a thing, more accustomed to how it feels to draw that and how it looks, and um, then you'll be able to pull from that muscle memory whenever you're drawing your own stuff. Such as the art. I learned best by trying to copy from something and then trying to make OCs with that anatomy. That's a good start. Such as the art I made and posted on my channel, The Man Called Donatello Versus was made yesterday. Okay. All right, now I can get rid of that because we don't need that. Hello, Tank Ferret. How are you? Hail to all of you magnificent bastards and bastettes. How'd that Katie Did piece turn out? It turned out really damn good. Give me 1 second. I will pull that up. So that was, where was it? That was down here. That's how that one turned out. Finished that one up late on Sunday. But yeah, that was That was a long couple of hours. But it was worth it because I learned actually how to make the shadows turn out pretty good. But we'll get back to where are we? Back to here. And Kira, I usually try to draw from the artist Hirohiko Araki. Okay. Hirohiko Araki art. Has Kitty did seen it yet? I sent it to her in DMs, but I'm not sure if she's seen it yet. I wanted to at least send it to her first and then post it on like Twitter and Instagram after a couple days, just to at least give her time to see it beforehand. But I'm not going to push it. I know that she's a very busy woman, so we shall see. But Tank Ferret, we have a new artist in the chat. We have Yoshikage Kira Killer Queen. I've been trying to walk him through some ways to help grow his channel and also some art improvements. Kira, is it Hirohiko or is it Hirohiko? Yeah, Kira was telling me about a manga that he is going to be putting out at some point in the next couple years. So we've been going over that, or going over like some like improvement techniques and just like talking things out in the chat before you got here. So it's been an interesting little conversation. Nice, more creators. Yes, I'm trying to convince him to start filming his traditional art drawings, but that may be a little bit of a ways away. Okay. Yeah, Kira, I have the Hirohiko. Um, I have the Hirohiko's art pulled up. That looks really cool. It's a mix of anime and somewhat realistic stuff. So that would be a good one to emulate, definitely. Whoop, don't want that closing down. Ah, yes. There you go for anybody who wants to chat with Kira. And Tank Ferret says, I'm taking a break from this massive poster commission I have going. Ah, how big is it? Is it like 11 by 17 or is it like even bigger? Still feel like there should be something up here. No, I need the brush. Yokai Kirakun. Much like some of the slang of the youth nowadays, I still don't understand some of the some of like the yokai and the kun and the stuff like that. I think it's like isn't it like a term of endearment, or is like this is your peers or something like that. No, that's see the kun and the san are what's throwing me off. I have no idea which ones those are, or like what they translate to. It's based off of Greek statues. Basically, Roger Powell, whom I am directly addressing. Okay. Okay. Oh, and since you just now popped in, Tank Ferret, today is sort of promoting Patrick Quinlan's Phenomenon #3 River of Blood Second Chance campaign. So if you haven't backed it, go and back it now. But I'm pretty sure you're usually a very quick backer, I think. So you probably already have. But this is the first CG Herald stream with the new format. So I think it's actually turning out pretty damn good. Oh, is your first one Balder? Quinlan, why? He's my second favorite twink. I'm gonna guess it. I'm gonna guess it's either Balder or fuck, what's his name? No, there's 3 actually. Is it either? Okay. I was gonna say it's either Vaughn, Balder, or Odie, but Odie hasn't been around for a while, so yeah, that makes sense. It was one of the 3 that I thought it was, so I'm glad I'm at least on the level. But yes, he is a great comic creator. Definitely check out CG Commandos on Saturday. It is on Saturday, right? I seem to remember that it's on Saturday. But feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I've been trying to make a manga. I'm too young to actually make one and release it to the public. I mean, you can still release it to the public. like I was saying earlier, NTM Comics, I'm going to call him Noah from now on. He released his first book whenever he was still in high school. So you can still release books whenever you're younger. So don't let age hold you back. You can still release that stuff. Yes, it's a great rivalry. Patrick Quinlan has Phenomenon and Vaughn Coleman has Phenomenova. Both resident twinks and both love fantastic books, or both make fantastic books. Yeah, I had for the longest time, like I would get the Phenomenon and Phenomenova both confused because they're both so similar. Yeah, heck yeah. Noah funded a solid 5-figure campaign by 17. Tank Ferret, remind me, did he release his second book um before he got into college, or was that after? Because I'm trying to remember which one I remember, because it was either, I think he put out the first one, then came into CG, and was getting pointers from everybody after getting reviews from the first one. And then he released the second one, and then it was moving on from there. Before, okay. So my thoughts were, I think my thoughts were right. Because I have both of those books, and the art style on the second one miles above the first one. But it's all like, normally you would probably rag on a creator if they don't have like a really decent art style, at least. And he's an instance where I'm actually okay with how the art style is in the first book, because it shows the progression from like amateur who's just starting to a fully published comic creator. So yeah, definitely. That kid got a heck of a leg up. Definitely. It's like, whenever you have Shelby Robertson popping into your chats and like pointing stuff out and saying, do this and do this, and it will look better if you do this, that's definitely a leg up. And Kira says, I usually base my book off of the animes One Piece or JoJo. They both inspired me to make one. It's always good to, excuse me as I belch my brains out. It's always good to draw inspiration from places like that, because then you'll sort of have like a base to pull from. That's like, whenever I'm trying to draw stuff, I'm trying to sort of emulate the styles of several different creators, which would be one, Pal Rodrick's, because I love his work. It's kick-ass. 2, J. Scott Campbell. And 3, I would say Bruce Timm, because he has a simplistic art style that still manages to look really cool. And whenever he draws women, they look fucking sexy. Freshman year of high school, I'm guessing. Because what you could do is, right now you're saying you want to improve anatomy and technique. If you want to improve those, then you can start by doing that in your freshman year, or like right now before you're starting it, and have it be like an ongoing goal. You can maybe say, I want to at least be starting, or like, you want to be at a good starting point for your comic by junior year. And it'll give you something to try to reach towards. And hold on. Okay. It'll give you something to reach towards. And whenever you're able to like get to that point, you can decide if you want to actually start working on like finalizing your comic or manga, and then um and then give yourself the next goal of, okay, I want to have this many pages done in this year, or if I want to release my comic before I head off to college, if that's something you want to do. They're all tentative goals. They don't have to be done, but it gives you something to look forward to and have a goal in mind. And yes, Tank Ferret definitely has this. For a solid handle on manga style, study the basics religiously. Also check out Draw Like a Sir and Mark Burnett. Definitely. Yes, Tank Ferret has been a professional illustrator and graphic designer for over 30 years at this point, and he's still learning and improving. Yep, and as you can see with my drawing, I'm still learning and improving as well. So everyone's got to start somewhere, and even whenever you reach that high point, you can still go above that. It's like if you watch Shane Davis, go to Talking and Drawing with Shane Davis on YouTube, then even he will say, I hate my I hate my earlier art. It looks like shit compared to what I can do now. Like he released a comic several years ago called Starlight Cats. And from that point until now, he's released several other ones. Inglorious Rex, Extend, Anatomic. And well, Anatomic didn't have him doing the art, but he is re-releasing Starlight Cats now on his crowdfunded site, Back Me Bro, and he is redoing some of like the art on the cover, and he has openly said like, if I had like a chance, I would go back and I would change some of that art that I did because I feel like I could do it so much better now. And that's something that a lot of artists feel like previous works don't really hold water the same way as stuff now because all of the improvement that has taken place since then. Amen to that. Yes. Whoop. Let's start here. Kira says I tried to learn and improve. Tank Ferret Kun. I barely started drawing 2 years ago. If you want to see the art I make, you can check out my posts on my channel. And yes, Tank Ferret, if you want to check out Kira's channel, it's pretty much the exact name on their posts. Because I tried looking it up earlier, and there was Yoshikage Kira Killer Queen with a lot of different numbers at the end, so there's a lot of variations. So just click on their name and go from there. It's a lot easier. Yes. Tank Ferret says, this little corner of the internet is full of us old guys passing around kung fu like party favors. It's a rising tide operation. Yes. All right. Give me a moment. How the fuck do I do this? Bring color media assets. God damn it. No. No, I don't want that. How the fuck do I do this? I probably have to do this in YouTube, don't I? All right. Give me a moment, guys. I need to actually jump into YouTube and do this. Because I haven't done this before. I think the only person that I've given like a wrench to, I think, was Mo Biggs, but that was years ago. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Message. Tank Ferret, is it showing up as you having a wrench now? I don't want that coming up. Okay, good. You do have a wrench. Awesome. Now it's showing up. All right. Back to Tank Ferret. I used to do live classes dubbed Digital Dojo, but ran out of time for it. Might bring it back. Yeah, that'd be cool. Go for it. Yeah, bring it back. Bring back the show. It's never too early to put out a book. Advice I wish I had followed. And Kira says, I don't really have anybody that supports my art or my books. My parents try, but they're too busy with other stuff. Tank Ferret, with your new wrench found powers, can you put a link to Yoshikage Kira Killer Queen's channel in the chat? Just for anybody on the replay or even watching now, so they can go and check out their work. Yes, thank you. Yes, with great wrench comes great responsibilitras. Awesome, thank you. Yes, go and subscribe. Yeah, Kira. I know I'm probably beating a dead horse in here, but at least in like this area, like with where me and Tank Ferret usually hang out, they will like to see like art process videos. So we all like art in general, but like having that that sort of like connection via video. But oh shit, seriously? Okay, let's get that charging while I'm chatting. Having that sort of connection via video so you can see like what your process is it's definitely beneficial to you, because some people don't really vibe as well with just posts. They want to sort of see what you're doing. But that's totally up to you. If it's something that you want to do and you want to put out, then more power to you. I'm just providing suggestions to try and get you into as good of a place as you can. And yes, you're definitely the friendly neighborhood force multiplier. All right. Tell you what, guys, I am going to stop sharing this for a moment. And I need to get another drink. So I am going to pull up Patrick Quinlan's campaign again. And I'm going to play the trailer so that we can showcase this, as I should have been doing for the entirety of the stream. But I'm thirsty and my throat is getting a little bit dry. So let's pull this up. Alrighty. That's still such a kick-ass trailer. All right. And Kara says, won a competition in YouTube, won 2 subs, a shout out, and a drawing of my PFP. My character, Moonville Clementine, let me win it, and I'm happy for that. Yes, awesome. Excuse me. Thanks, creative. Appreciate it. Excuse me. Alrighty. So, what I think I'm going to do today, because I know that I'm not going to be able to finish up inking on this piece, is I think I'm going to save inking for some other stream this week. Give me 1 second to pull up my art piece. Yeah. I'm going to save the inking for the boss for another stream this week. Not sure what day, because I haven't really planned that far ahead. But it'll definitely happen at some point this week. That way I can continue to showcase Patrick's work and hopefully bring some more eyes to Phenomenon number 3 and the River of Blood Second Chance campaign. So, I'm trying to think of any other creators that you should follow, Kira. Oh, Kara, have you ever heard of Mikey Mega Mega? Because he's a creator who does sort of like anime inspired art, and he has some anatomy videos that pretty much cover like the basics of anatomy. So he would be a good one to follow. Who else is there? Tank Ferret, if you're still there, who in CG does like basic drawings? Like I don't want to throw Kira straight to Ethan because Ethan does more complex stuff. But I mean, he would be a good one to like see like process drawing. Give me a moment. I'm gonna do some searching for you. Tank Ferret and Kira, if you're both still in the chat, put in a message. Okay, Kira, you are still here. Oh, okay. Oh, you're calling me creative. Okay. So you can either call me RC or Ryan. It's a little bit more personal than creative. I really liked your stream. Made me feel seen and appreciated. Hope I can see another stream of yours. Thank you. Haven't heard of him, but searched him up right now. Let me look through. I'm gonna search through my subscription feed, and I'll see if I can come up with any other ones that you should look for. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right. So, don't know where Tank Ferret's gone. Not sure if he's still here. But, oh shit! Come on. Okay. So here is a guy who draws on stream occasionally. Actually, over hold on. I can just put links in here. If Tank Ferret's not in here, then I can just put the links in here. I just have to get over to my YouTube. Okay. So Kira, here is a link to a creator who does some drawing on stream. A lot of the times it can be actual like anatomy drawings. And then Let's see some other ones. I'm just going through my list of seeing who all is here. All right. I'll try to come up with a couple other channels for you. A lot of them have like drawstreams on them, so you can follow them as they're going through a whole piece. All right, and you say you have to leave the stream in a minute to work on your book. Very good. You can stay for a couple more minutes. All right, I'll try to come up with maybe 2 more channels that I can throw your way. All right, so okay. So here's another guy who, if you want to jump into his chat every so often, he is a very good promotional channel. His name is Michael Bancroft. He promotes a lot of creators, far more than I have. And he occasionally does draw streams as well. He's one that you can definitely pick up a lot of processes from. And let's go one more. Let's try. Okay. And here is the last one that I can tell you about. This is Joe Catapano. He does a lot of art tutorials as well. And he is one that he shows a lot of different art styles. So I would say to definitely follow him. I think he doesn't do many live streams that I can see, but if he does do them, he may private them. Most of what I'm seeing is like videos, but they're still definitely worthwhile. So I would say to check out him as well. All right, you're sub to all of them. Sweet. But yeah, those are ones that I would definitely recommend checking out. So if you jump into their chats, you should definitely feel welcomed there as well. So definitely glad that I could help you by showing you all those other creators as well. I hope you had a good time in here. Lord knows that I did. I'm going to come off of there. And yeah, I'm going to work on inking this piece at some point later on this week. But we shall see when that actually is. Because I do want to get it done at some point this week. Alrighty. Time to stretch a little bit. Because I have to wake up early tomorrow morning. I have some shit to do. Okay. I'll close out of that. I have... Oh, excuse me. Okay. So for anybody still watching or watching on a replay, definitely go and support Patrick Quinlan and his campaign Phenomenon number 3 and the River of Blood Second Chance campaign. Fantastic creator, fantastic work, and yeah, definitely deserves to be funded. So go over to Fund My Comic and go and support it. Can you tell that I'm getting tired? All right. Well, it was a very fun stream today. Very glad to have met you, Kira. Hopefully we'll see you around in future streams. Thank you to Tank Ferret for sticking around and for bestowing a wealth of knowledge on us. Oh, thank you. There you are, Tank Ferret. A lot of good stuff around here. We need more mangaka, though. Yes, we do. We need to expand the reach of CG. But yes, we definitely need more mangaka. We have a lot of Euro style creators. Yeah, I was going through my subscription feed and I was sorely lacking in the manga style, but he got trapped in Dadland for a minute. That's understandable. I was still able to send him the links, so no problem there. Thanks, Ryan. Hope you have a good night. Thanks for listening to my yapping and lore about my book. No problem. Glad to hear it. It sounds very interesting. I'm glad that you have like the characters thought out. So it's definitely a good start. So hopefully you'll stick around and we'll see that progress throughout your journey. Yes, stay magnificent, everybody. Definitely. Hope you like my book, Unexpected. When it gets out to the public, hope you read it. Well, I will definitely be following you to see the progress. So, I'm one of these subscribers that just subscribe to your channel. So, I'll be following you. Alrighty, everybody. So let's turn that off. Now it's a little bit of shameless self-promotion for me. If you guys would, please leave a like, comment. If you haven't already joined in the chat, leave a comment afterwards if you're watching on the replay. Subscribe to the channel. Trying to keep growing this so that I can bring some more eyes to whoever I'm promoting and even to you guys in the chat. Got Kira some more followers today, so I'm doing something right. But yes, if I can keep growing my channel, then I'll be able to bring more eyes to CG and everybody's following me. So thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next stream, video, or whatever comes next. Peace out. Have a good